Hey, how's it going and welcome along. I'm Rory from Rate My Funeral or Giraffe Head Studios, depends which way you're facing. Hello and welcome to, what is this? Episode 6, is it?
Why are you asking me?
I just wanted to show, I've been making some progress. We've been doing well. There's some really cool stuff. I want to talk a little bit about the menu map. In case you're not familiar, there's previous episodes that explain this, but the game's menu is this map, and it's fully interactive, and it will actually act as quite a big part of the game itself as well. It's still very much in the early stages. I'm still doing lots and lots of tweaks, adding some kind of cool and potentially interactive fun stuff in there just to make it more interesting. The museum I've actually got kind of underway now. Yeah, I've been sort of doing some things over here, planning for things that are coming. I wonder what that will all be about. That door, yeah, subscribe if you want to find out what's behind that door. It will get covered eventually. There's a football up there, okay. Elevator is in place. I did some tweaks just to make that look a lot better than it did last time you saw it. And yeah, I don't know what that door's going to be yet. So all very interesting.
It sounds very interesting.
One of the things that I did was a really crap door opening system, and all it is literally just detecting if I walk up in front of a door, it plays an animation. And the cool thing about this is this is a new feature as of Unreal version 5.3. It's a linked animation. So basically this animation that it's playing I have on a separate map, and if I tweak it on that separate map, it updates here. Now I did cover this in one of my earlier videos in a little bit more detail. This is using that so that I can make this adjustment to this door animation. It's even got the door closer animated. So yeah, I don't know, I like it a lot. This is great fun. And also this door here, yeah, you can't get in there. So that pulls the animation for a locked door. So yeah, there's some cool and interesting things.
Interesting.
Let's quickly nip down into the museum. Now again, another thing that I've been testing is this is using a level streaming setup. So this map for the museum is a completely different map, but it loads it when I walk around this corner and it unloads it when I go back in there. Just part of the optimization, playing around with it, and yeah, it's good. It's working quite nicely. And yeah, this is the first sort of map out of the museum. Which I think looks absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, does look good.
I've built these kind of big giants over here, which look cool. Basically, the idea of this room is that during development, as we create models and stuff, there'll be things going in there. There'll be dev commentary. This will be a really interactive area. Again, if you've seen any of my previous games, such as Who is Abby, you'll see that I put stuff like this in to my games just because to me, it just gives it that little bit more interest. There's a kind of a bit more than just a menu, start playing, and that's the game. There's kind of all of this that will potentially continually expand. And this is a very interesting area. This is the credits room. So instead of just a scrolling list of credits, because to be fair, our team isn't that big. There's a room where there'll be specifics. Now, also in this room, though, will be the things from the Kickstarter campaign. So certain rewards get things that are going to be in this room. And it could be the name of the backer. That'll all be housed in there.
Like the sound of that.
Now over here, I love this. This is my idea for a kind of homage, whatever, to where this all came from, which was the original YouTube series of the Ragdoll physics experiments. My idea is that this is a cinema, and you'll be able to play any of these up on this big screen. Again, the idea is that it uses the new Mega Lights feature of Unreal, so that you dim the lights, and then the screen illuminates the room. And it looks absolutely gorgeous, and also the sound will be done so that it sounds like it's in this room with this kind of acoustics, and if you walk away it'll go quieter. I think this will be really cool. Again, it's not really anything to do with the game, it's just a thing that I think will look really smart, so therefore I've got to do it. Anyway, that's enough of down here. Let's head back upstairs. Oh, and one thing you might notice is I've fixed up the stairs now so you don't get stuck and bob about. It's nice and smooth, so that's good if you suffer from any kind of motion sickness. To be fair, you're doing well to watch these videos, but that would help with that. Next is this screen. I've done some updating over here, and the idea is going to be this screen is going to have buttons on it, and you can press on the buttons on the screen and it will change the environment that will be loaded behind these doors. And you can actually see through the doors. There it is. You can see what is currently loaded. At the moment, we've got the Infinity Studio and the Small Hall. Now, the Small Hall is the new environment I've made that is basically inspired by the museum. What happened was I made the museum, I did some stuff in there, and I thought, do you know what? This looks great. This needs to be an environment. So I've made this. Now let's go through. And this is the Small Hall, which is pretty simple, but it looks cool. And the floor looks fantastic. And when you start making stuff in here, I don't know, it just gives a slightly different look.
That's a different look for you, isn't it?
We have a look, you know, if you create a, you know, a structure in the way that we have been doing. Let's see, we'll do something like this. This is kind of my go-to structure. It's a pretty basic big ramp, and you know, I do like to get the old boulder at the top, and then I like to just cover it in these dudes. As I always mention in these videos, you won't actually be able to create this many unless you unlock a cheat or something like that. But what I like though is in this room, everything kind of just feels that little bit more alive. I like the reflections on the floor. I particularly like when they get stuck in the floor. That's good fun. And yeah, it's good. It's working. I'm trying to think if there's anything more. Oh, I did. I made a couple more. I made this curved ramp, which I thought was going to be like the best thing ever. It didn't work. I'll show I'll show you exactly what I mean. Let me just get rid of all these guys a moment. So one of the things actually, while I'm doing that, right, the conversation that I've been having is the delete mode.
Boy, you're so easily distracted.
Should it be an instant delete, or should it be a press and hold to give you a little bit of warning so that you don't accidentally delete it? I'm really curious. Please let me know in the comments, what one do you think would work better? So I built this ramp. I realized, you know, a big flaw that I made in the design of this ramp, because I thought this was going to be great. I thought we were going to be able to place our little ragdoll just here at the bottom like this. This is going to look fantastic. It's going to jump off the end there, and it doesn't. It just catches it.
Wow, that was underwhelming.
I did find, if we delete that one now, where's my small boulder? If I do get the small boulder, now this does kind of work. Boulder comes down, great, but it's pretty naff. Yeah, back to the drawing board. But this is the kind of, one thing that is good was I got to have a play with, you know, making some shapes that were a little bit more interesting. And again, I know it's really, really simple. There's not a lot to it yet. But a lot of these shapes, there'll be sort of variations. So it won't all just be concrete blocks. It'll be interesting shapes and construction stuff and wooden and metal and interesting things there.
It sounds very interesting.
Yeah, overall, that's that. So what was the other thing I was going to say about as well was, that's right. So again, this is super early. It doesn't really properly work right yet. But if I take my barrel, I have to do a bit of a cheat here again. This is why I say it's really early. I've no idea whether I'm going to get this about right. And then I'm going to select that barrel again. Right, barrel. There he is. Put it sort of half in like that. Now we can actually delete that one. And now we have our barrel sitting there like that. And then I'm going to find my wide wooden plank. Again, I know I say this all the time, don't I? Again, something else we're planning is that he'll detect what he's standing on. And if the thing falls away, he will fall at that moment. At the moment, he just basically permanently stays where you put him. But that won't last forever, see? So that's not quite right. But what actually happens here? Right. Okay, so now... Come on. That was so rubbish. Bop. Oh, that's funny. All right, well, just for a giggle, I'm going to just make a slight change here. And I'm going to stand here and put the 100-ton weight just there. And we're going to see what this does. Hey! Right, let's just try that again real quick. Hey! Brilliant.
You're easily pleased is all I can say.
Anyway, enough of that. Let me show you the really cool thing I mentioned earlier. So, in regards to saving, this is so good. So at the moment, I have to run it through a console. There aren't buttons. There will be buttons. It will all be integrated. It will be seamlessly beautiful and wonderful. If I go in and save this scene, so funny test, we'll call it, whatever. Right, that's now saved, yeah? So I can come in here, I can delete, like so. There's now nothing there, except the 10-ton weight, 100-ton weight, which we get rid of. So now there is nothing there. So we go core, load, funny test, boom, it's all back. And even if I come out of play mode and I go back in again, even if I do this and I come and stand over here and I type in core load funny test, boom, there it is. And you'll see it's now loaded. And if we hit go, we can... I love how it's slightly different every time. It's so brilliant. Oh, it's great. And one of the reasons why we've actually started building the save and load system so early is because we want to ensure that it's done in such a way that when we release updates throughout the early stages of the game, it doesn't break save files so often. Can't guarantee it never will, because it very likely will at certain points. Our aim is to make it so it's, 90% of our updates and patches don't inhibit any kind of save progress during early access or anything like that. That's the reason why we've started this now. Excellent. Anyway, that is the majority of the updates for this episode. I'm trying to show where where I'm learning stuff, where we're learning stuff as a team, how we're getting on, the progress. You can see it's coming together. Each time it just looks that little bit better, and I can't wait. Whoa, I can't wait to get a bit more polish in here. So that was a bit of fun. I really enjoyed that. The progress we're making, it's coming along really nicely. If you did want to get involved in supporting the project, there's a link to all the Kickstarter details and everything in the description. Honestly, I can't thank you enough for the support so far. It's been absolutely fantastic. And also, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that like button and click subscribe, and then clicking the little bell will notify you when I put up a new video. And honestly, thank you so much. I've had a lot of fun in this one. I really hope you have too. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.